Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we are going to take a second fully spoilerly look at Kaiju number 8, chapter 69. Yes, there was so much in this last chapter that I had to split up the video review into two separate sections. Previously, and what a chapter that was, we took a look at how Matsumoto integrates art, history, science, and humanity to make this world feel more than three-dimensional. It feels more than four-dimensional. This isn't just a world with a history, with a reality. It's a world with mythology. Matsumoto really does give me the same feeling I got from Tolkien. Depth. This world has depth. But you came to this video for a fully spoilery discussion of what happened in this chapter, not just to listen to me waxing on about generalities. So consider yourselves warned. I am going to get into all the spoilers now, so if you don't want to hear what happened in chapter 69, you can check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of Humans Are Weird. I have the data on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever books are sold. Monty Python meets classic Star Trek in this book of human absurdity. As I said, Monty Python creates so much of the feeling of... not Monty Python. Matsumoto creates so much of the feeling of this world through the relationships, hardly surprising for a shonen manga. And here in the second half of the chapter, we get a look, one deeper than the other, at two of Kafka's relationships. We get to see the fruits of Kafka's training as he knocks Vice Captain Hoshina back on his feet with the new combat style, right before Hoshina knocks Kafka into the stratosphere. It is a delightfully amusing little scene that shows that Kafka, at least, is now fully comfortable with the Vice Captain, and that the Vice Captain is pushing himself to the very edge. I mean, look at Hoshina's eyes when he took that blow from Kafka. That is a man near the breaking point. And remember what Hoshina is doing. Hoshina is spearheading the joint training and the research into Kaiju number 9. Those two tasks alone would be more than enough to overwhelm any man. Then, and I find it very, very telling that there isn't a single reference to it in this chapter, Hoshina is training with the very first sapient numbered weapon ever crafted. He is matching wits, will, and strength with a crafty and possibly duplicitous intelligence. We saw what a fully dead and gone numbers weapon did to Reno. What toll is just this alone, just training with numbered weapon 6, taking on our good Vice Captain? And on top of all of this, Hoshina is taking hours out of his packed schedule to train and refine the man who is actively trying to take away from him the one thing that proves his existence, as Vice Captain Hoshina put it. And it's not just that Hoshina is training them. Hoshina is taking his concerns about Kafka's mental health, his physical stress, and presenting them to Captain Ashiro. What is going on with Hoshina that Matsumoto didn't show us in this chapter? I need to know what's going on with Hoshina. But from this chapter, we're probably going to jump right back into combat, so we'll have to get it all through flashbacks, so we're going to have to wait. Then we have the bulk of the chapter. Kafka finally gets a chance to sit down and talk with Mina, not as a subordinate to his officer, but just as two old friends having lunch together. And I can't help but see the touch of Vice Captain Hoshina's just and merciful hand here too. It was the Vice Captain who first gently offered Kafka the chance to back out of using Kaiju number 8, who offered to take this duty off his shoulders, and I don't think that it's any coincidence that Mina uses nearly the exact same words here. I can just see Vice Captain Hoshina quietly going to his captain and explaining the situation, telling her of his failure to convince Kafka to back down. And we also see the confidence that Kafka has built in the intervening time. He's able to sit down and actually interact with Mina as a human being again. But that's all speculation. Mina arrives for an informal meeting with her old friend, offers him her strength and the chance to back down and save himself, and of course our shonen protagonist refuses. Now, this scene was great in of itself. We learn more about their relationship. We get to see that relationship start to heal and reform, but it does concern me. To be honest, I really wasn't all that concerned before this about the little guy, the kaiju that started all of this, really taking over the Kaiju number 8 body. Or I wasn't so concerned about Kafka losing control of the body for any length of time, rather. He is our protagonist after all. I mean, even if he reaches the point where he can no longer transform his body, his mind will always have control. But We have now had 3 solid beats addressing this issue. Captain Narumi assumed it was going to happen. He says, when it happens, I'll kill you myself. And Kafka was okay with that. The pragmatic Vice Captain Hoshina showed himself so afraid of it that for Kafka's sake, he was willing to forego the tactical advantage of having Kaiju number 8 on the battlefield. Now, Kafka's childhood friend has brought up the same issue. 3 beats addressing the same eventuality. And now I am fairly sure it is an eventuality. We are going to see this moment, the moment where Kafka pushes the Kaiju number 8 body too far and loses himself to the little guy, leaving that powerful body at the free control of the childlike mind of the monster. However, with Matsumoto, I expect a twist. I expect the twist to be something along the lines of no one noticing when the moment happens at first. Kafka using the Kaiju number 8 body is a warrior of skill, intelligence, and willingness. He uses his lifetime of Kaiju knowledge to get the most efficient use out of that powerful body, but he depends on the skills that little guy is teaching him through the body. Those skills are not Kafka's, the rocket elbows, the sonic scream. These are the little guy, but it is Kafka's intelligence who, once given access to these skills, can use them to such powerful effect on the battlefield. So, what if the first clue that Kafka has lost control of the Kaiju number 8 body is not that Kaiju number 8 suddenly turns on his friends. It's not that he stops fighting, but that Kaiju number 8 stops fighting so well. The intelligence directing the fight is gone. Kaiju number 8 goes into a purely rage-filled Kaiju killing spree, ignoring the orders Okanagi is feeding him, blindly pursuing whatever is the most powerful Kaiju in front of them. Is that how it will go down? A slow, horrified dawning understanding in the control room that even as Kaiju number 8 is ripping through the attacking Kaiju, that they've lost the human Kafka. That they're going to have to make the choice not the choice between taking down a threat that's trying to kill them and not taking down the threat, but between continuing to let this mockery of their friend continue fighting for them, or foregoing that power that's still effectively still on their side. We can only wait and see. And then you have the end scene. Remember that creepy ballerina brain kaiju that appeared at the Hachiko crossing? The memorial crossing that was all about friendships and connections and meeting up with people? Where, well, here she is in a dark Kikoru skin suit, making connections and calling her friends. And isn't that a gut-wrenching thought? We know Matsumoto has no trouble drawing a diversity of female faces. So the fact that she looks exactly like Kikoru is very telling. Last chapter, we speculated that Iso's mind was having some effect on the shape of the kaiju, and here we have proof. Now, here is the question. Kikoru has already faced her father's image in combat. Will she have to face her mother's? And with that horrific thought, I will leave you, my dear viewers. Leave your thoughts and theories below the video in the comments. Curse me for making you think of that last one, and hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.